Back in the 90s, after college graduation, I met the finest woman I'd ever met in my life. We're at this dance, and I realize she's so jovial, outgoing, and I find out her name is Christine Blakes from Wasangishu, and we're all dancing, a little bit tipsy and just excited, and I decide in the middle of dancing with her that I'd ask her for her phone number. I must confess, Christine was the first and the only woman to give me her real telephone number. The next day we meet, take our first date in Tom Mboya Gardens, and I figure out she's a real deal, simple lady with a smiling face. We take a second date, third date, fourth date, fifth, sixth, and after the seventh date, we board a taxi to my place, a single room in Eastleigh. I also wanted her to meet my friends, some of whom might have thought of me as queer. After a few months, she asks to meet my parents. We board an upcountry bus to Rusinga Island. My mom meets her. She calls me aside and asks, "Is she psycho?" Anyway, 3 years go down in raw before I get a job. I feel it's time to propose to her. I talk to her girlfriends, and it's Nairobi. Life is high in the city, and all I have in my hand 24/7 is The Great Controversy by Ellen G. White. Contrary to the city girl's expectations, a man must have a valuable ring, bottle of boom wines, chocolates, and other gifts. You know what? I proposed, and Christine said yes. That was it, Fox. I married the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life. My friends were like, "How in the world?" A question I also kept asking myself, and to some extent, I never believed Christine's love for me. Anyway, we get married, later get jobs, make a few babies, and our lives are great. Life was fantastic. One day, Christine finds a lump in her left breast cancer. 5 years after the diagnosis, my 2 little girls and I walked to Mummy's coffin, and for 2 good years, my heart didn't beat. If it wasn't for my faith in God, I wouldn't be speaking here today. If it weren't for my 2 little girls, there would have been no reason to go on. I was completely consumed. That was rock bottom. Another thing that sustained me is the wisdom of a primary school dropout, the wisdom of a simple caregiver, my mom's caregiver. She shares with me 3 words that would be the last lessons she'd ever teach me. She said, "Son, just stand." I doubt if there's anything more profound that I can share in this video than these words. Just stand. At one point in your good life, there will attack the life forces to tear you apart. Just stand and do not accept to be torn. There's a dawn to every night and no situation is permanent. Just stand.